Sure. Hello, folks. I believe we are live. So if you're seeing me already and you're seeing me look down at my phone, it's only because I'm checking to make sure we are streaming before we just jump into it. Yes, we are live. So also, if you give me 2 seconds, guys, I know it's unprofessional, man, but I forgot to tweet out the show. So let me do that really quick. But how's everybody doing? Hope everybody's well. Been a couple weeks. Um, you know, with the holiday, and then also, I had a rough situation going on personally. I'll talk about it later. I'll wait until a few more of you guys get in here. So some of you know, but in case you don't, I'll let you guys know what's been going on with me. And outside of that, well, actually, I think we do a show that week, Smitty.
What?
The
When?
week, no, we didn't. It's been 2 weeks. It's
Yeah, it's
been
been
two
two
weeks.
weeks.
All
Yeah.
right, that's what I thought. Actually, Smitty already got it shared out, so cool. I don't have to do. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I'll do it too, just in case. I mean, I know there's a handful of people that follow either one of us that don't follow the other, so why not?
Yeah.
But what's up, everybody? Hope everybody is well, man. You know how we're gonna do it. We're gonna talk about some regular stuff first, as far as our sports teams. We'll do that. I heard Smitty say on his stream, and I didn't even pay attention to this, that Patricia's gone, so I can't wait to hear Smitty's thoughts on
Yeah.
that. We'll get into that as far as football teams and anything else we might want to talk about outside of the main topic. But of course, the main topic, guys, and I was hoping this was the case when I saw FIFA release yesterday. I was hoping that Madden would nudge it on out a little sooner so we'd have something to talk about tonight. And they did. Madden Next Gen, right here. I'm not bragging or anything, guys. Y'all know the last time y'all heard from me. Y'all know how I ended up getting this. So we're going to talk about the PS5 version. And let's get into it, man. We'll get into that in a moment. But first and foremost, let's throw it to Smitty. Smitty, it's been a couple of weeks. I know we've talked offline, but we're going to sit here and act like we haven't. So, how's everything been going with you and the family, man? How was Thanksgiving and what's going on with those Lions?
Well, oh, hold up. Okay, I had to mute that. Okay. Now, I mean, family been good. Everything's been good. Some of you guys saw me not too long ago. I was up here streaming and everything that's Madden next gen since they dropped it on us early. You know, um, but no, I mean, I've been good, man. Hanging in there, being safe and everything. I was battling a cold and everything like that for the past few days. So, and I mean, be going to the store, running errands and things like that here and there. And, like I ended up catching a little bug there for a few days. So I had to, I was distancing from the family and all that stuff just to make sure, just to be on that safe
Ain't
side
that
because you really
crazy?
don't know.
And
You know what
these
I
days
mean?
and times, you cough and your
Yeah,
mind
that's what
start
I'm
going
saying.
like, uh-oh. Like,
Yeah, like I
it's
can't.
sad. We laugh to keep from crying, guys. Literally, it's
Yeah, like
sad, man.
so that's what we had to do. And but I mean, I'm good. I'm much better now. I mean, heard that great news about the Lions. Patricia and Quinn era is over. I
Cool.
was thinking it was going to be more Patricia and then Quinn was still going to be here, but the fact of the matter that they got rid of both of them, hey, I mean that's cool. But like what my man Mike Valeni has said, anyone that's from Detroit that knows about, Mr. Old Mike Valeni. And the problem is that Sheila Ford was the one that gave these guys the extra chances, brought back Patricia, gave them the extra votes of confidence and everything. I mean, she literally just said like 2 weeks ago that they looked like they were on the cusp of being a playoff team. Like, I'm like, are you serious?
Wow.
Like, so it's like, yeah, you made the firing, and it's like, yeah, that's cool, but it's like, I can't really, I don't feel the most confident about it because all the things that are being said are the right things. Oh, y'all got to understand the pain they're going through. You got to understand the team. You got to understand the circumstance. All that stuff was said when you had Mayhew there. You know what I'm saying? And you got rid of him and Schwartz. Well, so all of that was said before too. And then You had Caldwell here, which I mean, he did a good job. He did a good job, but he wasn't a great. He didn't do great, but I don't. I think we would. I don't know. We possibly may have been in a better spot if we had kept that.
Fire a
Kept
man with a
him
winning
there.
season.
Yeah,
That's
you
always
know what I'm
gonna rub me the
saying.
wrong way.
So you say that you said that we were supposed to be winning. We were supposed to be. I mean, you're supposed to be upgrading because what he did wasn't acceptable. And it's like, but you did absolutely the polar opposite the whole time. Patricia was terrible. He didn't blitz. He played cover one, dang near all game long. Barely did any. I mean, he barely did it. Nothing exotic, nothing diverse. Game was extremely. His whole game was extremely predictable. So now he's out. He's out of there, and who knows what's going to happen going forward. We got to wait and see. But um I'm not worried about what happens with the season. If things go the way they go, so be it. Um but I am happy that change happened. Uh the other, well, it's recent news and everything like that. I don't know if there's anything to super duper celebrate, but it's very interesting. We got Liangelo Ball on the Pistons. You know what I'm saying?
That's all
So
right.
you know what I mean? Not a guaranteed contract, but he's on the Pistons, see what he may do. I don't know if he's going to get a chance to play or not. I really don't know. He could just be filling a roster spot and then mess around and get cut. I don't know what's going to happen.
Liangelo is the youngest one, right?
No. Liangelo, wait, no, Liangelo is the middle. He's the
Middle.
middle brother.
Okay, so yeah,
He's the
Lamelo, the
strongest.
younger
Like he's
boy.
the thickest. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Got you, got you.
Yeah, Lamelo. Yeah, what's the name? Yeah, Lamelo was the one that got drafted and he was the one that was drafted. Which I'll just say this real quick and throw it to Sim. It's very interesting to see how Lamelo got picked that highly, and he's that highly touted of a talent when he only played a handful of basketball games in various schools. Because remember, he got pulled out of high school
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
to go overseas when I don't know what year he was in high school. So he got pulled out of high school to go play overseas at a low. Not, I mean, it's not even top tier competition. Like, yeah, he was playing against men, but it was like low tier competition for some exhibition games. Then played in that JBA league that his dad created, and then he plays in what, that Australian league? No, excuse me. He went to some high school or academy, and he's only there for a short stint, and then he's overseas playing in Australia for a handful of games, and it's like that's all he did, and it's like, oh, yo, he's a lottery pick, man. You know what I mean? Like that's I don't know how. I mean, hey, Matt, look, I will say this. I know people clown on Lamar and everything and say and say that stuff about him and all that. Listen, I get it. You know,
Man got three
he was
sons in the
wilding.
league.
He was wilding and everything like that. I get the whole, man, I'm gonna run my business, I'm gonna do my own thing. Clearly this brother already had money. He already been doing his thing. For my man to be like, man, I'm gonna get you a what was it, a Bentley truck. You know what I'm saying? He got a LaMelo, a Bentley truck. Like, yeah, he already making some bread, dude. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So he got, but that's the key thing there too, Sim. He kept them boys on a straight playing basketball, heavy influence, heavy teaching, and he got all three of them in the league. Two of them top 5 picks. You know what I'm saying? So you can't you can't get mad at any of that, man. I mad props to that. I mean, he did some oddball stuff. Like I said, the whole the shoes and all that was a bit much. But at the end of the day, though, he did some great stuff, man. So shout out to that. But that's all I got, man. And one thing I will say though too, I'll just say this real quick, and this is on the football tip. Look at what Mike Tomlin has been able to do. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm just going to say this. There were instances where he's been looked at as, should he go? Should he be fired? Because the Steelers weren't necessarily elevating forward, even though they put together good records and they put together decent seasons. It came into question here and there about him, at points and times. But now look at this season here. You know what I'm saying? Would he have been able to get? Nobody was thinking that the Steelers would be this good.
I sure won't.
You know what I'm saying?
So, y'all know I keep it real when it comes to that.
Yeah, so it's like to see these dudes playing like this. This is what I'm saying. You got to give these coaches a dang on freaking chance to actually do something with the team. I would have. I mean, I know Caldwell what may have not been the answer, but at the same time, who knows what he could have done here, though? Who knows if we could have had some more legit winning seasons and actually win a playoff game? Who knows? But see, that's something we'll never know because it's like give him 2 to 3 years and then get him out of there. Like, nah, man, the Lions are not that kind of team, man. Got to do more than that. So,
man had a winning season and you fired.
Yeah, 3 of them. You know what I'm saying? 3 out of 4 winning seasons, and you get rid of them. Come on, dog. You can't do that. So, yeah, man. And shout out to, just real quick, shout out to Mo, E-Ray.
Holy
You
moly.
know what I'm saying? E-Ray, everybody in the chat.
But man, E-Ray in the building.
You know what I'm saying? What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? Mo, I'll see you. No cheese, man. No cheese. All right?
Yeah, man.
All right, Phil.
Mo is family, man. You know, y'all don't even know that, man. Mo basically ushered us in to the program because he was already there. You know, and it's funny to see how people have gone on to do different things, man. Like, you know, Mo is now on the team. You know, Marcus is now on the team. You know, Swami. It's crazy. You know, where everybody started and where they are now, and good stuff. Really quick, man, on the football side, listen, they're 11-0. I never would have thunk it. I know people try to throw shots at the schedule. Oh, it's easy. But it's like I said on the Terrible Towel podcast. Every single season, there are teams that have an easy schedule, if that's what you want to call it. Quote fingers. Easy schedule. Every single year. So what? You know, if the schedule is perceived to be easy, okay, whatever. So how come every year other teams don't do that? How come the rest of our division isn't blowing through the schedule either? Because we all know how this works. We all play the same 2 divisions, and then we play each other, and then you have those 2 offsetting games. So with that theory, the Ravens should be much better than they are, which, not taking nothing away from them, they should be. And let's be honest, yesterday's game, I mean, because of the COVID thing I'm not going to pump my chest over that win because the Steelers played like trash, in my opinion. They look bad against that Ravens team. But the funny thing about it, Smitty, is the Ravens fans keep saying, oh, you guys played our practice squad. All right, I give you that. What about week 8 when we was in Baltimore? I'm saying. So I'm just saying, man, look, I don't get into all of that. Schedule is what it is. You can only play who's in front of you. And there are a lot of teams who, especially the Steelers, we have a history of, remember when people were saying Tomlin couldn't beat subpar teams? They don't never want to give this man his credit. And even with that being said, I said it on the Steelers show last night, 2 nights in a row, matter of fact. I still think Kansas City is probably the team to beat. Even though my guys are sitting here undefeated. That team that last night can't beat Kansas City. I'm sorry. Kansas City's defense ain't that great either, but I, at this point, do not think that we can go score for score with the Chiefs. I don't see it. We got the talent, but our offense just ain't consistent to me sometimes. That's all. That's all I'll say about the football thing. We'll see what happens, man. I'm proud of the Steelers, and we'll see how far they go. Other than that, you have a good amount of people in here now, so I will share this news because a lot of people had been asking where I had been and things like that. And, it's still difficult for me to talk about, but I feel like it's important to share. I shared it with my Steeler crowd. Back on the 17th of November, unfortunately, some of you guys know that, my family had a little COVID situation. Fortunately, my mother passed away from it. It hurts very badly. Like I said, we laugh to keep from crying. I mean, I'm only 2 weeks removed, and I'm still going through it. But, being here on the show and trying to do regular things and keep things as normal as possible is keeping me going. But that's where I've been, guys. So that's why a show didn't happen that week, and then obviously last week was Thanksgiving, and there you have it, man. So, I say all that just to remind everybody: be safe, man. It's real. It's real. Both Smitty and I both have experienced. Our mothers both have had it. Fortunately enough, Smitty's mom got past it. But unfortunately, it wasn't the same for my mom, and it is what it is. My dad had it too. My dad's doing well, and just saying all that, man, just to remind you guys to be safe and stop taking things for granted. As well as, I think this is a good segue. This is the reason why I'm not so serious about these video games, because there's real life going on. These video games are like a getaway for us. That's why I don't take them so serious anymore. But anyway, let's get to it, guys. What y'all say? He
No,
said, "Come on, Sam, eat some of them cupcakes y'all struggled with." I know that. That's why I said. That's why I said the Steelers to me are not the team to beat. And I keep telling Steeler fans that. Struggle with Denver early in the season. Struggle with the Dakless Cowboys. You see what I'm saying? That's why I don't believe that we are a Super Bowl team right now. I don't. But again, like I said, I'm not going to allow people to pick holes in that 11-0 start just because of the quote unquote schedule is easy. Y'all need to stop that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's get to it, man. We gonna talk about this Madden. And I appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate the condolences and all of that, man. Yeah, it's been tough for your boy, man. It's been tough. It's been many days and many nights that I've been, you know, many days and many nights I've been broke down, man. But things happen. And you got to keep it moving. And I know my mom would want that. But it is a pain that I don't want any of you guys to ever feel. At least while we all are relatively young, you don't want to feel that. So hopefully none of you guys have to go through that type of situation. But anyway, man, let's brighten the mood back up here on my TV. So you guys are probably going to see me look to the right quite often. We got Next Gen Madden. Next Gen Madden. And Smitty and I will give you guys our quick thoughts. I will throw it to Smitty first, but I want to lead with this before I throw it to Smitty. Remember I told you guys that, I was going to go out on the limb and say, oh, it's going to be different and different experience. And if I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, because I was hoping for the best. I think I was partially right. We'll dive into it, but I think I was partially correct. Me personally, to date, today, I've played probably a total of 3 quarters. Haven't had the time. I work from home, but I actually work, so I couldn't get it in the way I wanted to today. I'm playing it right now, which might end up being my 4th quarter. But I can already tell, man, that there's some things, in my opinion, that are different. Player movement. I like what that's bringing to the table. I like the next gen stats integration, which is driving player movement. I like physics, but I'll hold off. I want to throw it to Smitty first, but I just wanted to say that I think I was partially correct. It's not a straight port over, but yeah, there's definitely things from PS4 that's still in the game that a little disappointing to me, and I'll explain that in a minute. But what you guys, Smitty, man, I'll throw it to you first. I know you had, you did a stream and everything today, so you might have spent a little more time than I did. But what are your initial thoughts in regards to the entire package that we're being delivered so far on Next Gen Madden?
I mean, what I would definitely say is that, as some of you guys heard me say in the stream, player movement is definitely game changer. Huge, huge game changing. Okay. It makes everything a lot more visually appealing when you actually have your hands on the stick. The thing is, and see, for people that are looking at gameplay, we've said this before with NBA 2K in particular. You can say the same thing about FIFA. You can even say the same thing about PES and NHL. You could look at it on screen. You could watch somebody's stream. They could go through instant replays and all that, and you'll be like, "Oh, it looks the same. Oh, it looks the same. I don't look much different. It all looks the same." You know what I mean? But you gotta actually play the game and experience it firsthand. That's like saying if I drive a car that's the same model type car for three to five straight years, it's not going to feel significantly different. If I've driven that car before. It's no different. But the thing is, if they make subtle differences between one and the other, you got to actually get in the driver's seat yourself. And you got to put your foot on the gas and the brake and say, "Oh, you guys did improve the brakes. Oh, okay, the steering does feel better." But see, when you sit in the passenger seat and be like, "Oh, roll one, roll them all," you're not going to get it. And that's why you got to spend some time playing it. So the player movement, it being on all the players, you definitely are able to see that, because I'm not feeling at all right now, especially. I'm not feeling suctioned into any two-man, like I'm not feeling like the two-man animations don't feel forced. I'm not seeing all kinds of suction tackling, suction pass breakups, suction INTs. I'm not seeing that kind of stuff happening for me right now. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, yes, did I play a ton of games? No. But like I said, I spent a little bit of time practicing earlier in the practice field, and then I jumped on and played the game on the stream. That was my first full game, me playing it on the stream there, that I did earlier on today. But the gameplay feels good. The secondary, what I like about it is that they look, do they have to work on zone logic and man logic and all that good stuff? Yes, they definitely do. That part of the game has not all of a sudden been completely overhauled. But the way that DBs play the ball for the most part, or how they play, it looks more sensible to an extent. So the way that they when you see players backpedaling, turn their back to the play and try and pursue, all of it is going to be legit in comparison, in conjunction to with not to, but with what the wide receiver is doing. Just like I shown on the stream, I shown plays where you saw big separation happen. Why did it happen? Quarterback already threw the ball. Receiver just running. It's a timing route. Receiver's already running his route, went through his break and everything. That DB is looking back and saying, "Oh, snap, the ball's in the air." Now they trying to gun it and get over there, but it's too late. You see what I'm saying? And seeing how routes are being ran, and this is the stuff, look, I got something up on Twitter here that I was just going to say real quick. There's this channel I follow called the Sideline Hustle, okay? And they showcase clips of what happens in NFL games, between wide receivers and DBs. And this example here, like they're showcasing, is the trigger step. I would love to see stuff like that. I would love to see technique like that happening in the future.
Right.
Because when you see players run zig routes and in and out routes or what have you, where they have little breaks and they take their little jab steps here and there. When you see those things play out, it looks real nice because now you're seeing organic separation happen. It's not a forced two-man animation or anything like that. You're selling the move. So if the DB is backpedaling, they got to watch what you're doing. If the DB has his back to you and they're trying to trail you, or they're trying to basically keep in stride with you, now you could throw them off.
Yeah. Because
the head tracking. I've had plays where dudes are looking and I create big separation. Why? Because their back was to the play. They turned around. They were in front of my wide receiver running, and then they're not able to. They don't know where I'm at. So as soon as my player makes a move, they're at their disposal now. And the other thing too is that's happening here in the game is that you're seeing defenders make a choice. This is stuff that Sim and I have talked about many, many times over. DBs, linebackers, it doesn't matter who it is on defense. You can't cover everything. You got to make a decision. Even with pursuit. My man DJ was saying that. You know, stuff that would look like a video game error at the same time, that could be a real world situation. Dude took a pursuit angle that was legit, but at the same time, it's like, well, what if he guessed wrong? You know what I mean? Are we compensating for that? Because that does happen in the sport.
You'll see that angle Terrell Edmonds took last night on that late touchdown by the Ravens.
Yeah.
When he came flying in there, he wasn't gonna make that tackle.
Yeah.
and granted, we're not comparing it to real life guys, but this is something that you've heard me and Smitty and Azure, all of us guys who was originally in the Sim standard have even talked about even back then. Even with 2K5. Remember the video I think I made? Smitty probably made one too saying, do you think they program mistakes into the game? Because this looks like a legit mistake. And I know Madden, we don't give Madden the benefit of the doubt, and we shouldn't because of their track record, but that's always the hard part. It's like, what's a flaw and what's not a flaw?
Yeah, and once again, I've seen defenders, once again, Lions fan, tons of these things. I see dudes be standing there trying to decide what they gonna do, and then the play dang near pass them by. Because they still, well, should I? When they should have already did it. But then we see it happen in the game, and we like, oh, this game's broke. I'm like, no, these dudes are making decisions. If I'm the running back, they're kind of at my mercy.
Yeah.
I'm in the open field. They like, okay, what is he going to do? What is he going to do? Is he going to go left? Is he going to go right? Is he going to come toward the middle? What's he doing? And then they try to anticipate. Just like when I had to play during the stream, ran a zig route. My man does a little zig. DB backpedals. He goes toward the outside, goes towards the inside. Which way is he going? First he's running toward me. Then he's going toward the sideline. Then he's going this. So which way is he committed to? Oh, snap. Okay, he's running toward the middle of the field. Now I'm going to chase that. He didn't just run here, run there, do this, do that. No. He stood there. He pivoted. All right, he's committing this way. Now I'm going to go ahead and attack it. By then, all I can do is try and stop him from behind. That's football, though. That's logic. That just makes sense. You read and you react accordingly. Hopefully, you can be there to impact the play. That's football stuff. That's stuff that I can't get mad at. Cause I'm like, yo, what happened there? It makes sense. The way that my corners got gashed up playing in the second, that happens. That's NFL. That's what happens in the NFL. Excuse me. That's what happens in the NFL with the Lions. Our secondary is garbage. Yeah, we make plays at times, but our secondary is terrible. So us getting gashed the way we did makes sense. But the point is that, and like what Sim shown on Twitter, I had the same play too. Kenny Galladay. And that's the other thing too. The fade route was ran real smooth, even with him interacting with the defender. All that did not feel stuck. I mean, excuse me, it didn't look stuck. Interacts with him, gets off. I threw the ball. You don't know what the defender did the whole time? The defender was trailing me. So when I threw the pass, even though it was a 2-man animation that did trigger, the bottom line, though, the 2-man animation made sense because it was one that played out where the defender was just trying to tackle me. He wasn't looking at the ball at all. So he didn't know where the ball was going to be thrown. He wouldn't know where to stick his hand up at. He wouldn't know he wouldn't be able to go for a pick. And I ended up coming down with it for 6. That's what should happen. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Now, if he puts his hands up and just so happens to bat it down, dang, okay. Because that does happen. But otherwise, I should have that. Unless my receiver just drops it. But I should have that pass. Because that's what happens that's what happens in the sport. So when I'm seeing all these things happen, that's why I say you have to play it to see this stuff. You had a lot of people who watched a clip shorter than a minute in length. Huh? Hold on. I gotta address something. Hold on, I'll be right back.
No problem. I'm gonna hold off, guys, on diving deep into what I want to say because I want Smitty to be able to chime in as well. But I will say this. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what everyone expects. Well, actually, let me dive into the things that I like about the game from what I've seen so far. And then I'll dive into the expect aspect, because I want Smitty to hear that part too. And listen, this is just my opinion. It's just my opinion. Other people have their opinions, and you guys would never see me try to convince you otherwise. I don't do that. I don't do that. I'm not the guy to do that. I don't convince you of the great. I don't convince you of the hate. I think sometimes when people view my opinion of Madden, you're looking for me to sway one way or the other, and I don't do that. I tell you how I feel, and I don't care about how everybody else feels. It doesn't. If I was the only person that dislikes something, I stand on that. If I was the only person that likes something, I stand on that. And again, I think it's funny in this community because you started seeing who was who. Like as years progressed, when all of a sudden, if my opinion didn't align perfectly with certain people, then all of a sudden, oh, they don't know. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Doesn't hurt my feelings. I could be the lone wolf one way or another. So as far as the things that I like so far, and again, this is extremely early for me. I haven't played a full game yet, right? So I can't just make a determination just like that. Now, some of you feel that you can, and shout outs to you, applause. If you can make a determination that fast, or if you can make a determination from just seeing it with your own eyes, and of course, there's some things that you can see and be like, that still happens. All right, I'm cool on that. I'm not talking about those things. I'm talking about making a determination just like that. It's just like music, right? It's just like music. I'm the type of dude that I don't call an album a classic on the first listen. Now, I will be
All
fair and
right, I'm
say,
back.
all right, I will be fair and say there's some albums that you hear and you be like, ooh, that sound like a classic. But you still live with it for a minute. That's kind of how I treat video games. I got to play it. Because let's be honest, and this is not a direct comparison because I wish nothing more than for 2K to be able to make a real NFL football game direct competition, not no arcade style NFL. But at the end of the day, I'm having a blast with 2K. But it ain't like it's worlds different from last gen. They just have some things that they tightened up and they improved upon that I like. This is kind of how I feel about what they did with Madden. So let me throw those couple things out there, and then I'll say the other piece that I wanted Smitty to hear. The tackling, to me, I like what I'm seeing, especially the gang tackles. Man, and Smitty even had more than this, but I had a 4-man gang tackle earlier, right? Are you going to still see some animations from last gen? Yep, you are.
Yeah.
Are there going to still be some situations where it looks like it's just a one-man interaction? I don't know. I haven't quite seen that yet. I have seen some of those old animations start, but it seems like people can interrupt that interaction. Again, I haven't played long enough to know if it's there or if it isn't. I agree with Smitty with the 2-man animations. That's my biggest disappointment, by the way. Let me clear that air because you guys remember me saying if those 2-man animations come over, that drives me crazy. Because what I don't know personally is, are they going to ever be able to address that properly while on this generation? I don't know. I'm not an engineer. I don't build scripts and all of that. But my thought was maybe you go away from that going into a new platform. That was my hope. But seeing as that it has come over, it also is in 2K still. 2K has done a great job with reducing the input or the override of 2-man. And sometimes there isn't a 2-man, but they still have their 2-man sequencing as well. They just chain it together a lot cleaner. That came over on PS5. So, maybe it's an industry thing. Because to my knowledge, there isn't really a game that has completely removed them. Even though, and I haven't played FIFA 21 yet, even though I feel like FIFA and PES have done a tremendous job over the years with at least making you think that there's no 2-man happening. So some games are doing it better than others. So yet, even though I am disappointed by that, if it's an industry-wide thing, what are we gonna do? Maybe technology hasn't quite got there yet. We'll see. Player movement, man, groundbreaking. It's weird that we're even saying that because, like Smitty said, we all saw where they were going in Madden 25, and then it slowly got stripped down, and then by Madden 17 they tried to bring it back a little bit, and then 18 they stripped it again, and then one of those like nights, one of them they had like a combination of 20, even 21, right? It's almost like a combination of 25 in a past year, and then now this one feels more like what True Step meant to be.
Right.
Smitty said this in his stream. I'll say it here. Feels like these players got weight and momentum.
Yeah.
For me to say that, y'all know that means something. It feels like everyone is grounded. Again, I have not played a lot. By next week, we'll be able to really give you guys an assessment.
Hey, Sim, just cut real quick. On the Xbox control, are you able to feel the steps and stuff like that? Does it do that?
I'm playing on here.
PS5. What? Oh yeah, that's right. You got the 5. That's right. Oh yeah. Never mind. You got yours came. It came. That's right.
Mine came early, man, and it's crazy. Even a quick sidebar for you guys, just to throw this out there, because I don't know if I think I told the people in the Steelers show. So most of y'all that was watching this show 2 weeks ago, y'all know how I got it. My wife locked it down live on the show, what have you. Walmart said that it would arrive by the 27th. So I was expecting that I would get it Black Friday. Come to find out, man, like I told you guys, my mom had passed on the 17th. The daggone PS5 came that Friday. The 17th was a Tuesday. we're packing up, getting ourselves together to go down to Virginia, to get ready for the viewing and the service and all that. Before I leave, knock on the door. Here's my PS5, and I'm like, so. Of course, I left it behind. I didn't want to, I'm so meticulous. I was like, I ain't taking it to no hotel. I'm going to unbox it at home. So I left it, and I still had the little Series S, so I took that with me, just to give me some things to do in the hotel or whatever. Because that whole interaction it was just crazy, guys. Because due to COVID, obviously, the service, we couldn't have more than 25 people, and then there was other people in my family who had been positive, so we weren't trying to spend the night. It was just weird. So it was really just us doing what we have to do, back to the hotel. The next day, doing what we had to do, back to the hotel. But long story short, the PS5 had to wait on me to come back 2-3 days later, and then it's been up and running since then. Man, those are the things I like. There are things that still need to be addressed, I'm sure. And the more I play this game, I'll be able to see that. Like Smitty said, I'm sure everything is not one-to-one with coverage and all of that type of stuff. There's several things I still would like to see in terms of player interaction. I would love for it to get to a point where we're not dealing with the two-man anthems. But it doesn't seem like it's such a big deal as it is on Gen 4. Because, again, in case you guys didn't see my tweet, I'm not throwing a plug or anything. If you can go check it out, I can't make that throw on PS4.
Oh no,
it was a fade route in the end zone. I was able to throw it low, back shoulder. I was like, wow, I can't do that on PS4. Let me say this, because this is the part I wanted Smitty to hear, and I want everybody to really understand where I'm coming from, and I think Smitty shares this. I'm not the guy, or we're not the guys, man, that we're not giving our thoughts on Madden for entertainment. We don't care who agrees or disagrees. We just give you our thoughts. And I'm going to be truly frank here. There's some people I'm just not speaking to. Like, what I'm saying is never going to resonate with you because you have your viewpoint on things and I have mine. I don't speak about Madden and the betterment of Madden and the betterment of football products to certain people because y'all you're never going to be satisfied with anything. Like, everybody, I've seen people, even today, I saw somebody respond to one of my tweets and he said something like, it doesn't matter because 2K and EA is trash. And I'm like, what you playing? You know what I mean? Like, if you think both NBA 2K is trash and Madden is trash, like, dog, what's you see what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying that you need to like one, but I guess what I'm saying is this. I think to some degree, I think a lot of us in this community have gone away from the fact that it's about trying to make the games that are available for us to play better. That's why y'all don't hear me, and it ain't got nothing to do with no affiliation, because y'all know me and Smitty ain't really affiliated like that no more. Excuse me, we really not. When the last time we've been to EA? But it's all we got. So, as a gamer and a diehard football fan, my job is to try to keep giving my feedback and hope we get a better game. Because you know what's going to happen? If another company gets the opportunity to make the game, that's where we're going to be. Didn't y'all see us champion APF? Didn't y'all see us champion Backbreaker when nobody else? Remember, we was kind of like the Lone Rangers in Backbreaker until we made people start to see, like, myself, Smitty, Azure, even Moody, Apex. We were kind of the ones that was like, nah, y'all need to take a close look at this game.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But most people was giving us that hate then. Man, that game is trash. I'm like, no, but look at the football happening. I ain't saying it's the best. So I say all that to say this. I see where this game on next gen can grow to. Things that are not in PS4 version. And all we can do is hope they do it until there's another product. Case in point. Some of you guys have seen that whole I messed the name up, so I'm not even gonna say it again because it's embarrassing. But that boxing game that's being advertised, right?
Oh, that esports boxing club.
There you
Yeah.
go. I used to love Fight Night. That was my joint. But let me tell you something. For the way that game is looking, when it drops, I'm all over that. They gonna end up probably reaching out to me because of how much support I'm gonna give that game. I don't care about Fight Night. No, this looked like the new hotness, and it looked good.
Yeah.
That's my point, folks. Another company make a football game. Heck, that 2K non-simulation game is legit. I'm all over that.
Mm-hmm.
So the only reason why I'm saying this, man, is it's a certain segment of the crowd that I don't pay attention to what you're saying. I don't listen to your feedback because I'm past all of that. I'm past the stage of, oh, EA's trash. Who cares, man? I'm at this point where I'm just playing these games, man, and try to get as much enjoyment out of it as I can and give feedback. If y'all looking for me to be the same guy that I was 10 years ago, then you need to look at yourself in the mirror. If you haven't evolved past it, like I ain't got time for that no more. We gonna still be what we are. We gonna critique the game, but we gonna say what's good. We gonna say what's bad. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
But to me, it doesn't. To me, it doesn't do anything to just keep spewing. EA is trash. EA is trash. What does that solve? My thoughts is this: either play it or don't. That's it. That's it. Now, last thing I will say: hashtag. That's the constructive way. We made some things happen by keeping it relatively peaceful, but we were kind of like pounding the table. That was a way that the community pounded the table without being ignorant and cursing people out, and something happened. So that's all I'm saying, man. Look, if this game ain't what you want it to be, let's get back on that. We got to make these people be better because I got a secret to tell y'all, in case y'all don't know this. There ain't no other football game out there. This ain't no disrespect to
Maximum football,
Maximum
Access.
we support them. But there is no game that's going to be on the level of Madden. So there's two ways that you can go with this. You can either try to make the game better or fall back. And I would recommend fall back. If nothing they do is going to suffice you. Now, I've been talking a lot, but let me talk about some of the things that obviously I don't like. The presentation to me don't look that different. Intros and stuff, I haven't really seen any new ones. Sidelines, finally glad they got real people on the sidelines with their numbers and such. And I'm finally glad that, there's some interactivity, but like Smitty pointed out even before the show, I still feel like APF was more engaged. Mm-hmm. That is a shame, EA. Let's say it loud. EA, Tiburon. That is a shame that we are comparing sideline activity to a game that was produced in 2007. That is shameful. That's horrible. That we are comparing it. We're not saying, we should be saying, man, how is the sideline interactivity compared to NBA 2K21's,
Exactly.
We shouldn't be comparing you to a game. Come on, EA. You got to get your stuff together with that. Here's another disappointment. The weather. And I found this out before it launched. Shout outs to C. Antoine Hill. Appreciate you, brother. This is a guy that follows me a lot, man, with the Steelers stuff. Fellow Sixer fan as well, so that's my dude right there. Appreciate the donation. Y'all know I always interrupt myself to read a donation comment, so let's do that really quick. He says, Sim, I was just about to ask you about the boxing Joan. Y'all can tell he from Philly, right? Joan. That Joan looks sick. Yeah, it do, man. It do. And, yeah, believe me, y'all going to hear a lot from me when that game drops early and, early access. Don't worry. But, I found this out before the game released. Can't give you my sources or anything like that. And I was a little pissed off about it. The weather doesn't affect gameplay. Does not affect gameplay. No more than what it did on Gen 4. So you still will get your slips, that pre-canned slipped and all, but it doesn't at this point. It doesn't affect gameplay, and I'm mad at that because let me be fair to EA here. I think when we read the Next Level article, I know for one, I assumed that it would affect gameplay.
Oh.
But if you're being fair, which I don't want to do because Tiburon hasn't been nice to us, they never said that. All they talked about was the cloth and the weather, how it looks, and all of that. They never said it would affect gameplay. That was my assumption. But I'm still mad at that because shout outs to our good brother Neo, man, on Twitter. He said a point earlier today that I've been saying for years. Why is it that when the body falls in the snow, there's no indention or anything?
Right, of their body. Yeah.
Little details like that, guys. Little stuff. Like, to me, that's all simulation. Presentation and gameplay are all simulation.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the little crowd stuff, which I think, in my opinion, they kind of borrowed that from 2K5, when it pans to the live crowd, and that's cool. And I like the next gen stuff, and I like the next gen replays. Pretty sick. But I guess what I wanted to say, man, and I'm sorry, guys, I went on a tangent, is I wouldn't have, or let's say you shouldn't have expected it to be a completely new game. And here's the reason why. Look at the difference between 2K current gen, well, last gen, and now next gen is current gen. Look at the differences there, right? That should have kind of given you the idea of what Madden could possibly do, which means it literally is right now, Smitty. It literally feels like an optimized
Madden.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
It's not going to be anything that's way over the top. I mean, if you know game development, that's almost impossible for it had to been a totally different game. The only way it could have been that is if they had been secretly working on this thing for 3 or 4 years, which we know dev kits won't even out then.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there are fundamental changes that's being implemented in this version. Weight and momentum, player movement, little nuances, the stats thing, next gen, like those things to me are fundamental changes. How good or bad this game is, I don't know that yet. We'll come back and tell you guys that next week. But I'm at least happy to see that there's fundamental things that are being changed. So it gives me reason to believe that maybe they're starting to see the light. I don't know. And we'll see. But that's all, man. That's all I wanted to say. I know I was long-winded, guys, but I just wanted to set an expectation for you all. There's no way that me and Smitty could give you the full skinny on the game right now. It's impossible. I don't work like that. I have to play the game and see different scenarios, different situations, so I can feel what's different. Visually looking at it is not going. I can't. That's just not how I work. There's others that do that. So if that's your crowd, go check them out. I can't give you an answer today, but there's some positive things and there's some things that I'm still kind of like, come on, man. I thought y'all would have fixed that. So it's Madden. What else you want me to say?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I know it's gonna be perceived as an excuse, though. You already know that, Smitty.
Yeah.
I will never understand that. The guys who want the best football game ever, like, why would there ever be any? I don't know, man. But I know it's coming. It probably somebody in the chat probably already said it.
You're like, hold on, wait. Is by the time PS6 man will look and play like Madden no fire. Oh man. But man, look. Like I said, Sims played it some. I played it some. I played it a little bit more than he has. I mean, I got one game right now.
Yeah.
And the thing is, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all the same thing I said on the stream. Find this game, okay? As cheap as you possibly can find it.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah.
On PS4 and Xbox One. If you got the console, Find this as cheap as you possibly can. I will
Absolutely.
straight up tell you, as excited and elated as I sounded and everything like that, y'all heard how passionate I was in there. This game is not $70.
No.
This game is not.
No.
This is not a 70.
Nah.
This is not a $70 game by no stretch of the imagination. I don't care what they're doing. It is not a $70 game. Get this game on eBay, Amazon, wherever you can. Get that sucker as cheap as you can get it.
Facts.
Go ahead, slap that disc in that console and download the upgraded version. That's it. Flat out. It is not a $70 game. Okay.
Yeah.
Just get that. Let's make it clear. Now, I said, in my opinion, I believe that NBA 2K would be a $70 game. The reason why I say it would justify the price point, because of everything that game is giving you that you cannot get in the previous generation. There's a lot of stuff, gameplay wise, mode wise, depth wise, across the board.
Yes. Yep.
That justifies it. Okay. This right here, no. That player movement is not nearly enough to say $70. I don't care how much that I've said this. You know what I mean? Hold on, wait. He said they paid $75 to say anything. He's stupid. My man's a fool, man. There's a fool. But no,
I take that 75,000.
You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't say a word. I'll put my own Twitter channel on mute for a minute. I'll be like, hey, why you ain't saying nothing? I ain't even really played the game, you know.
I know, right?
5,000, y'all gonna lose y'all critic. I'm sorry, brother. So that should let y'all know it ain't that serious to me. Right. These are games, bro.
Hey, look. Hey, man. But no, for real, like, look, get it as cheap as you can, man, and that's it, man. Look, before doing any of this game changer stuff and everything. We always consumers, no matter what. It don't matter without. We all consumers, man. If the game ain't right, it ain't right. Like, look, I'm happy about the changes they've done. Now, look, if they
I'm gonna show y'all something. Go ahead, Smith. Let me say this real quick, and
go ahead, Sam. Go ahead, man.
I'm gonna try to plug in the my Elgato really quick. I want to show you this replay here. I'm gonna put it on camera. And I want to see what you guys think about this. I'm not going to give my opinion. I'm going to let y'all, and then we'll discuss it. I think that'll be cool. Go ahead, Smitty.
All right. No, all I'm saying is that, give your own thoughts, what you think about these products, man. Look, if Madden builds off of what they did with 21 here, and they legitimately build off of it and go expand and build up, like I've said many times over on the team, expand and build up, expand out, build up, expand out, build up. If they do that, then they may actually be able to justify it being a $70 purchase. They may be able to justify it. Otherwise, no. And the game has good stuff in it. But the thing is, like we said before, these games get to a point where you're not going to be able to see everything in one shot. If you play, that's like people looking at FIFA 21 right now. Okay, I looked at clips from Izzy Snow and other people. Shout out to him and other people that got the FIFA, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this game is so amazing." I can't tell by the clips they uploaded.
Right.
It looks like it looks no different than what they had the day before. It looks no different, but all of a sudden, oh my gosh, this game not only does it look good, man, this sucker feels amazing. Oh, okay. You see what I'm saying? Oh, all right. Well, that's what's up. But if I look at that expanded out camera view, just like how you tip the camera view that's default when you play, unless my hands are on the sticks and I'm feeling it out for myself and like, oh, I see what he's talking about. I'm not gonna be able to say anything. I'm not gonna be able to tell you, oh yeah, this is on point. Oh, this is amazing. I don't know. I can't say. You know what I'm saying? I can't hardly say if the game's amazing or not, or if it's the same. It's gonna look the same. It's not gonna look no different until my hands on the stick. Just like if I play PES. Like I said, PES, NHL. I can't tell you the difference by just watching somebody stream. I gotta play it myself because the game is that far progressed now, where it's like, oh, I gotta pick the sticks up and play this and experience it. That's why I was like, let me see how this route running is. Let's see how this player movement actually is. Let's see if it's legit. Excuse me. And the thing is, it actually is legit.
That route,
Oh, okay.
yeah, that route running, no question.
I see the clip up there now. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think nobody can front on that route running.
Oh, no. You cannot front on the route running. And see, that's the kind of stuff you could do in the game to take things to a level of where now you can have that character uniqueness when it comes to how they run routes along with the player build types. You know what I'm saying? So
that's who I wanted to play with. I wanted to play with Buffalo because you guys, when y'all saw the trailer, was I tripping? But didn't that look like how Stephon Diggs runs? I don't know if anybody else paid attention to that.
I don't know.
I got to test that theory. But yeah, man, I'm about to show y'all
DLC to improve, and that'll never happen, Philly. I mean, I get what you're saying, but that'll never happen.
Y'all make sure y'all let me know that y'all can see the screen. Yeah, Eric, that route running, yeah,
The route running is nice.
Y'all let me know that y'all can see the game there before I start it, man. And again, I'm not gonna give my opinion until a lot of you guys.
The pass rush is there too. So I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you good, Smitty. Not until you guys kind of say what y'all want to say about it. I'm not gonna give my opinion one way or another. I think this would be kind of cool to have like a live moment between all of us.
I see it up on the screen. I see it.
Cool. So let's take a look at what happens here. I'm gonna show you the play itself, and then I'm gonna go back and take a look at what happened.
All right.
Thielen is wide open, right? Let's take a closer look, and I'm only just gonna let y'all see what happened here, and I just want to see everybody's thoughts on how you feel about this. Let's put it in slow mo. Go back. I'm going to do my own fake me out slow-mo frame for frame. All right, so I want you guys to fire away, man. Give me your thoughts, good or bad, on this on what happened here.
Okay. That's see.
So this is a perfect example of what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, see, you can say, oh, that's a video game issue because we've seen this, but at the same time, that happens in football because he's ahead of him. But he doesn't have the head of steam that, who's that, Thielen? Yeah. Thielen already got the head of steam running toward him. Yeah. See, he's running toward him. He's got the hips open. But the thing is, he just straight got torched before he could try and commit. Once again, I've experienced this a lot as a Lions fan, watching these cats get cooked. And then you look at the replay and you like, bro, what? He didn't do anything significant. Why'd you get beat like that?
All right, come on, guys. Fire away in the chat, man, because I'm about to take it down in a minute. I want to hear good or bad. What is your opinion about what happened here? DB is not in phase with the receiver. Okay, but is that good or bad? Was it man coverage? I don't know. Let's see. I believe so.
It looked like it was man coverage.
Yeah, it looks like everybody's playing man. He thought he had help over the top. Looks like DB just slowed himself. It's like the DB slows down. Yep. Kia says unnecessary twitchy stutter. All he needs to do is bail and run in phase. Yep, I can agree with that. Let's see. Arizona guy is taking
weird. I think he's gonna
weird
say
steps. Okay, I don't like it. All right. Peterson looks stuck in mud. It can be both. Okay, this is interesting. We really don't know what triggered the reaction from the DB. Exactly. It's called the game being broken. See that there you go. You know, that's just your thoughts. And again, I'm not challenging that. I'm just saying I'm doing this for a purpose. Trust me. I'm gonna get to the point in a second. I thought it looked good until Thielen actually ran by him. Then the DB kind of stops briefly for no reason. Yep, agree. What are their ratings? Leverage is right at the least. There's no middle of the field defender, just has to turn and run without the hit step. Yep. All right, so the reason why I'm saying this, guys, is this is a perfect example of what I try to do when I give feedback for this game. I don't run to it, the game is broken. I don't run to, he shouldn't get beat that way. No, I look at it and say, all right, what's a football issue and what's a video game issue? And I think most of us agree here that this could happen, right? But the problem is we're not sure what's going on right here, right? And then contextual awareness kicks in. I don't know if you guys can see it, but see that contextual awareness right there is what made Peterson have these false steps. And we don't know why, because like Kia said, all he really had to do right here, bam, go with him. However, Thielen is running an over route, or, I think this was a post.
Yeah, post.
So he gets caught up here. And the problem is most of us are saying these are unnecessary steps because we can't really see the interaction. We don't see Peterson, trying to put his hands in position or reaching out, and that's why it looks more like false steps. See what I'm saying? But in reality, this is something that could actually happen in football, but it's not being represented as well as it could. So the reason why I wanted to show that is these are the type things, this is where my feedback comes in. I analyze every play and I say, all right, where's the football, acumen that could be better, or did it work in this guy's favor because of? And then I look to see, well, what is the actual problem in the game? Is this a video game problem? And that's how I give my feedback. So I just wanted to give that live example, man, because not everybody, I don't see it the same way all the time as everybody else. Eric says the game is going to need a patch. Oh, okay. Killmonger says, bad. Why did Peterson stop for a millisecond? Okay. Eric says ratings don't matter. This is a common situation. Okay, common sense situation. All right. There was a twitch that kept the DB from recovering. Right. So, again, guys, I just want to see where all of us are viewing this. That's my only point of doing this. I'm not saying anybody is right or wrong, but I try to make sure that most of us are looking at this from the same perspective, even if we have slightly different opinions. You know what I mean? I don't want to just run to the game is broken. Like, no, this is probably something that could be cleaned up if this is a problem. But I also make the same point. When this happens in a legitimate fashion, people still complain.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the problem with Madden, the Madden community, both sim, tourney, competitive, whoever you want to talk about. There are times when there's legitimate things that happen. Like I saw Kia said earlier that people are already complaining about guys not being able to play the ball with their back turned. Come on, man. You see what I'm saying? So that's the only reason why I did this live example. I just wanted to see, where all of us may have agreed or disagreed, but we generally all came to kind of the same consensus, and that is a good thing. But yeah. What else you got,
Let's
Smitty?
see. Think about it. This is a concept that ends up happening when you go the route of not having too many animation. Because, excuse me, I'm sorry, I needed to eat a little bit of candy. But the reason is that when you look at Backbreaker, right? We called out funky animations and stuff in there too. But at the same time, we also saw what they're trying to articulate. And we'd be like, well, they need to have animations to depict it better, or they need to do better. You know what I mean? Need to have a better job of translating what the interpretation is. If it's an accident, if it's a misstep,
Right.
if it's whatever, you know what I mean? But when you take out that middleman and put that wideout DB interaction, try to make it organic and let it just play, that's how you end up getting those kind of situations at times. Doesn't mean that EA just busted the game now. Because look, I don't Sim took the play down, but as Thielen on that play was going into his break, he technically should have beat Peterson. He had him beat.
He should have beat him. And
because
one guy in the chat made a good point too. G Weezy says, change the direction. Thielen was already running straight in his route. Peterson has to change. And at that point, he's correct. But I also do agree with what Kia said. You would like to see a guy like Peterson getting phased a little better than that. So those are like the football things that we give the feedback on, not necessarily a flaw.
You're right. And that's true too. But then at the same time, we've also seen Pat Pete get cooked.
He's been getting cooked right often this year. I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
I mean,
my man Pat ain't the same, man.
Everybody gets cooked, regardless of how good they are. I'm not saying Kia wrong. Kia is spot on. But the key thing I looked at, the key takeaway I got from that play, Pat Pete can have his hips toward the sideline, when Thielen is cutting toward the inside.
Right.
And he about to burst out with speed, and your hips are toward the sideline? No, I should say towards the closest sideline. And he's heading toward the middle. Y'all are two different directions like this at that juncture. He is not about to turn around all of a sudden and just choom. And see, once again, this is where we're saying the game needing to do a better job of articulating fundamental miscues.
Yeah.
And mistakes. Because, once again, on Twitter, Sideline Hustle, you see plays where the DB is there to make the play, but they get cooked to a degree because of what the wide receiver did and them trying to eagerly anticipate it. So they end up leaving yards of space after they catch that ball, and sometimes they get shook up on even on running the route because of that same stuff. They're performing this move. You're trying to diagnose it. You're trying to catch it, and then before you know it, ping, they gone, and now you didn't got smoked. How are we going to depict this in video game form?
You know what? Let me say this real quick too,
You know?
Smitty, because it
Yeah, go ahead. Go
it
ahead, son.
hits on what you're saying. Eric, this is not a shot at you or anything like that, but we have to get to a point, and this is the reason why I did this exercise here. We got to get to a point where everybody's opinion is their opinion, right? Because you're sitting here telling us we can't see, and it kills me when y'all run to that. I say y'all because there's always a few people that run to the, oh, you making, what are we making excuses for? What are you talking about? Like what? Like I'm sick. I'm sick of that. I'm gonna be honest. I'm sick of, and you know, if I'm going a little too crazy, my bad. But I'm sick of people anytime we give an opinion on something that we thought looked okay, but here's the problem with the okay. It's always you're making excuses for what? Do you understand that there's no benefit of mine or Smitty or anybody else for that matter to make an excuse? Why would we do that? We all want the best game, so y'all kill me when y'all go there. Nobody's making excuses at all. But if you thought it was bad, that's fine. I will give you that. You saw I was reading all the comments, and some of you guys said it's good. Some of you guys said that's it. I don't challenge nobody. I didn't sit here and make y'all, no, man, I like this, and y'all should like it because of this. I didn't say that. So please stop doing that. Like, please stop making people, just because you feel a certain way, everybody don't have to see it like that. That's why I don't do that. That's why I never tell you guys, should you buy a game? Y'all don't never hear me say if you should or shouldn't. That's up to you. But I feel like we all should be able to have a conversation instead of people always running to the, oh, we're making this. For who? Like, why would any of us be making excuses for this game? That literally makes no sense. I don't understand why y'all go to that, man. I just don't get that. But whatever.
But see, this would be the one thing I would say to the guys that are like Eric that feel that way. So what's your explanation for when you see a play that should have logically been made in the NFL and they don't make it? You know how many times I've seen the Lions passes thrown in the end zone, passes thrown, DB is in perfect position to make the play, don't make the play. Aaron Rodgers, remember? He threw that Hail Mary and my man came, that tight end Rodgers or whatever his name, came down with it. Yeah. All them Detroit Lions jerseys in there. No one had the sense of the sense of presence to just step forward, jump up and catch the ball or knock it away. They didn't need Calvin Johnson to be in there to do that. They could easily, all they had to do was step forward and make a play. But you know what they all did? They all acted like, oh, we got to stand over here. We got to stand over. No, step to where the receiver is, jump up and knock that thing out of there. That's it. It's over. Numerous plays.
Yeah, I'll try to get you guys another example of them two.
Numerous plays of that kind of stuff that happens, man. So that's why this is what I'm saying. So what happens? I was like, but the point is though, Eric, while we're talking about Madden, and like I said, guys of that mind frame, what you got to also understand is if that stuff happened in Madden, you would be having a conniption saying, see, this is why EA is messed up, and that's why 2K needs to be making a game. You'd be saying the same thing, but I'm like, but it literally happened in real life. So if I sit up here and get mad at EA because, man, they're not replicating what needs to happen on Sundays, but then they actually are doing things that are being replicated on Sundays, I'm gonna get mad at them because they're replicating what happens on Sundays. Like, no, I'm not gonna. You know what I'm saying? And this is one thing Sim has made the point about as well. Remember this. Sim has said, what about what happens? How can you actually, he's done videos on this. How can you actually replicate mistakes? Because this is football. Dudes be making mistakes all game long. Like they make mistakes. Should they tackle? Should they chase this guy? Should they trail him? Should they try to keep this guy in front of them? Should they try to do, you know what I'm saying? So this is the kind of stuff we're talking about, man.
I'm gonna try 4 verticals, guys, and see if I can get them matched up.
Oh,
But yeah, that's the thing. Like what Smitty just said, man. It's like matter of fact, let me pause this so I could kind of look at you guys and talk.
yeah.
We've been saying that for years.
Yeah.
And maybe we too critical. You know, while some people think we're not, maybe we're the one that overanalyze because we've been saying this forever. How do you program a mistake to where we're going to accept it? See, we're the nutty ones because I'll go on a replay and I can say, I see what happened there. Everybody ain't going to do that. Like, what's going to make you happy? And again, Eric, I'm not picking on you, and I don't even want to use that word. We're all grown, man. How could I pick on? What I'm saying is, let's say this game in our estimation was perfect. Again, I'm going to use, y'all see what's back there. I'm going to use my Steelers as an example. Last night, I thought we played horrendously. Well, yesterday afternoon, right? That play, when Hollywood Brown scored the 70-yard touchdown, I'm going to tell you 2 things that some people may have missed. Number 1, Joe Hayden got a pick 6 earlier in that game. Why? Because he bailed off of his assignment, read RG3's eyes, he jumped the underneath route, pick 6. Did the same thing on that play. RG3 apparently saw it, threw it to Hollywood Brown. Here comes Terrell Edmonds overplaying it. Hollywood Brown, one of the most elusive guys, makes a miss. He's gone. Minkah Fitzpatrick is the safety, but when your back is turned and you're trying to chase a guy, all you got to do is boom, boom, right? Now, here's the thing. How you replicate that? To where us on this, we're going to accept it. And that's a hard thing to do. I mean, I'm being real. And you're talking about a super sim-minded guy, and I'm like, yeah, that's how do you accept it? Many times people have that argument with the artificial intelligence, right? I've had this conversation with Clint and Rex when Rex was there. I was like, man, I want my guys to kind of react to the play. And okay, so let's imagine Joe Hayden does the same thing in Madden, right? He's reading what he thought. Yeah, I got me a pick early. I'm going to get him again. Am I going to be happy when I look at the replay and I saw that he jumped the underneath? So, and again, we're not trying to correlate apples to apples. I'm just saying, this is why I take the approach. And again, I always give huge shout out and credit to NY Kia because Kia takes this approach when he gives his feedback. What is it doing from a football standpoint? And what appears to be a game flaw? And when you approach it like that, I promise you, you will see more things that you could actually live with versus what you thought was broken. That's all I'm saying. And again, we don't have to agree, but it's when you get down to the nitty-gritty, those are facts. Like what game would make all of us happy? Because let me tell you something. We watch the NFL every week, and we see dudes. Some of y'all said it in the chat. My man Ronald Darby was getting taken to school, boy. I mean, and that dude is a relatively decent corner, I thought. But, boy, he was getting his lunch taken on Thanksgiving. Oh, my goodness. How do you replicate that? Where you're going to accept it. See what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a tough balance, man. And again, I'm not giving EA credit. I'm not giving them the benefit of the doubt because, go back and play some of them 2K games. 2K8 got some wild stuff happening too.
Mm-hmm.
2K21. But it's a delicate balance, man. When you've been doing this as long as we've been doing it, it's a delicate balance when we kind of know the ins and outs of how they it's I don't know, man. It's hard. It's
Man,
hard.
I mean, look. Even right now, until 2K patches it, pick and roll defense is
Oh,
broken in
wow.
2K21 right now.
Yeah,
It is broken.
most definitely.
Soon as the CPU pick, soon as your teammate, if they set a pick, and you get hit by that screen, the underneath defender leaves that lane wide open, straight to the basket every time. Every time.
Here y'all go. I got one for y'all. And I had to take a sack on this, but I just wanted to give them time to run.
To run. Okay. Got another clip coming in right here. So nice. It's gotta understand that. In 2K football, all pro football, the zone defense is just like Madden 13. Their defense is bad. They literally play to their zone, and that's it. As soon as it wide out runs out that zone, they ain't covering it no more. All right, hold on. I gotta watch film school. Let's see what's going on here.
Like I said, I'm not gonna say nothing.
Okay.
I'm just gonna let everybody watch.
That was good. Yep. I like that right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just see what happened on the other side. Might as well go around the horn. Let's see what's going on over here. My man's playing off. Okay. Oh, I probably had a better opportunity over here. My man Justin Jefferson, which I wish my Steelers could have got him, but I love Claypool. No, I ain't gonna front. Claypool, that dude. But I fell in love with what Jefferson got. I'm just telling y'all my secret, man. I started really watching him because for whatever reason, I had started to watch a lot of LSU. That dude nasty. So I was hoping that maybe we had a shot, but that boy Claypool is special too. So, but this is where my win was at right here.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just trying to get footage for y'all. And I took the sack, but in reality, this is where I needed to go. Bam! He's done. Bam.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's 6 things.
His back to the ball.
Yep. But there you go, guys.
Clear release back to the ball toward the sideline. Oh yeah, that would have been easy money. Easy money right there.
Whew. So that's why I say, man, it maybe me and Smitty are crazy, man, but I'm one of those guys that I lab, but I don't lab like others do. I think sometimes let me be fair and say that. I think sometimes my assessment of these games are gonna be a little more off than others because I'm the crazy guy who tries to play a sim style, regardless of who I'm playing. I get out there in the lobby. I still try to make this game as realistic as I can. So because of that, how I find the problems and issues, I just play the game and I'm like, oh, let me go look at that. And then I see it in replay like, But I don't, I lab a little bit in practice, but I don't, I'm not like Zan and guys like that. I just don't do that. Even Kia's good with that, and I'll do the coverage thing, kind of like Kia, but even Kia still will test certain concepts that seem to be meta that's going on out there. I just don't. Again, because I'm the nutcase that even in our league, I'm still trying to play football instead of playing Madden, if y'all understand what I'm saying. That's just my crazy self. So I'm usually going to uncover things as they come up versus And no disrespect, but that's why, guys, a lot of times when y'all ask me questions on Twitter, like, "Hey, is this still?" I don't know. Some stuff I didn't even know was broken. I didn't know that. You know what I mean? Because I don't play the meta, and I'm not a MUT guy where everybody starts learning. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of times I will watch the MCS and all that to find out, oh wow, that's really a problem in the game. But I never saw it because my crowd don't play like that. You see what I'm saying? So that's all. Letting you guys into my world a little bit. But yeah, man. It's not going to be a brand new game, man. I mean, I think that's how we
Yeah.
could wrap this up.
Yeah.
It's not. It literally turned out to be what we joked about. It's optimized. There's some good pieces, some good foundational pieces here that I think desperately needed to be changed. Number one on my book, and I think most of us agree, player movement. The way it feels, the foot planting, or the lack thereof, if you want to say that, as far as the twitchy foot planting, that's not there. I'm not seeing so far. I'm not really seeing warps. Funny thing is, you guys have always heard me say, man, could they just slow down that timing window of when the two-man triggers? Seems like they've done that. They've reduced it so it doesn't look, to borrow from Stephen A, because I laugh every time he says it, it doesn't look egregious. The next gen stats, I think, is bigger than what people really think, because again, that's helping to drive that player movement. Actually, what I'm going to do right now, man, let me cancel this game. I'm gonna play with Buffalo because I want to see if Stephon Diggs is actually running like himself. I swear in that trailer, it looked like, y'all know his running style with his arms kind of flailing, but it's still Madden at its core, and there's still plenty things that they're gonna have to address and change. I'm still cautiously optimistic, but I think what I was waiting to see if there were any foundational things that would be changed going into the first year of next gen, and it looks like it is. There's a ton of things that we all know that's what's missing. Still a ton of things to do, but I don't feel like personally on the just playing the game, I don't feel like it's a straight up copy and paste, meaning that it's the exact same game. I don't think so. There's a lot of different elements that you're seeing that is better than prior gen. Are you going to be able to notice it right out the gate just watching us play? No. You're going to have to do like I did tonight, show a couple replays, feel it for yourself. When you feel the running lanes, and when you feel the gang tackling, and when you feel so far passing seems to be a little bit better. I'm still going to put APF at this moment a little ahead of Madden in terms of placement. And the coverage and all that stuff. I still got to go break that stuff down, and we haven't spent enough time on it to really tell you guys if it's better or not. We're just telling you what we feel from what we're currently experiencing. That's all. Because believe me, there's people out there already too that's saying it's the greatest. And I'm like, see, y'all go crazy. Some people are saying it's so good, and others are saying it's so trash. And I'm like, nah, it's probably somewhere right in the middle. There's things in here that you're not gonna like. There's things in here that carried over from current gen that still hasn't been addressed. But there's things that you can definitely see. Oh, okay, keep doing that. Keep doing this. And then let me say this too. For you guys who thought there was gonna be this brand new additions or whatever to franchise, sometimes I don't understand what you guys are looking at. They've been told us that there wasn't going to be any changes. And if you just use logic, you knew that there wasn't. If they already laid out the blueprint of what they were expecting to do via patch, and then where they're expecting to approach in 22, what made you think that this game, even though it's next gen that was coming out a couple months later, was going to be any different? Because you still have to understand that it's still the same cycle base. And what I mean by that, guys, is the plan that they had for Madden 21 is what it was. The only difference is they knew they had to make a next gen version. So let's see what we can tack on to that. But that's why you probably should never think that a game is going to be completely different from one gen to the next. Again, you don't believe me? Look at 2K. Look at 2K. They did some things, no question. But their infrastructure was already there. That's what I wanted to hit on, Smitty. 2K has already built the park was already there. So boom, you can bring in the city. See what I'm saying? 2K already had my league, so bam, we're gonna make it my NBA. Like they already had the infrastructure, and it took them a while to get there. So 2K to me is on cruise control. They just got to keep refining until the game then got to the point where it's like, man, we willingly playing for the roster update because it's like the game is just out of this. They're kind of on cruise control, even though they got problems, but they're kind of on cruise control, man. They got everything, right? Madden, on the other hand, if you guys really digest it like this, if we're being 100% real and not in our feelings and in our that they've been making the game for 30 years, throw all of that out the window. I say this all the time. If the game sucks to you for whatever reason, you feel like it sucks, how do you think that your opinion of the game is going to change in one cycle? I hope you understand where I'm going with that. What I'm saying is player movement has been bad for quite a long time. So we know that, well, that's going to have to be one of the first things that needs to change. Player physics. We all have been saying, man, when are they going to make physics a little better? That's something that we know is going to have to change. So what I'm saying is all of these things that we all have said have lacked. Hopefully we'll start seeing these things change, but it ain't going to be like that because we know EA don't get down like that, at least with Madden. So I guess that's my point that makes me chuckle sometimes, where I'm like, the very people who say the game is trash and EA ain't ever gonna do nothing seem to be the most upset each year. And I'm like, but you already know how they work. Like, why are any of us expecting drastic changes from EA Tiburon? At this point, they need to blow us away. We all should be at this point like, we know how they work. Let's see what they do this time. And maybe one year they'll deliver greatly. But I don't know, man. Again, like I said, maybe it's because I'm maturing and we've been doing this long enough where it don't bother me like that no more. I see how corporate EA works. I'm happy to see that they have made some, in my opinion, some groundbreaking changes with this player movement and this next gen tech, because this could go places. The number one question that I'm sure all of us has, will it? That's the question. Will they push this to the next level? And will they? That is my thing. Like, okay, what are y'all gonna do with what appears to be a changing of direction? I don't know. But again, there's no way I was expecting. I was not expecting this to be a completely opposite experience of what Madden is currently. It's impossible. I just wanted to see an improvement. I wanted to see upgrade, optimization. Looks like they're trying. Now, this again, let's not lose the sight of this. This is TBD. Me and Smitty might come back next Thursday and say, man, after spending some time with this game, you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know yet. I don't know yet to the fullest extent. I don't. But we'll see. We're going to give y'all the real, man. That's just one thing you can guarantee, that I'm always going to tell you the truth. There's no agendas here.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, I'm sorry. I apologize if I don't view and rate the game the same way you guys do. We just have a difference of approach, but it doesn't behoove any of us to be pumping. This doesn't benefit anybody. Trust and believe. And if y'all think $70 or $60 has been the reason why I'm so-called been night, don't play me like that, man. Don't play me like that. Don't think that like some people would say, they worrying about a free game. Man, nobody cares about Madden to that degree. I don't care who cares about getting this game. Come on, man. Listen, your boy doing all right out here. I could afford a $70 game if I'm just saying. I feel like you attacked in my character when you say something like that. But anyway, man, what else we got, Smitty? We got a few more moments, man. Anything else we want to get off?
I don't have anything else, to be quite honest.
Oh, wait a minute. He says, let's read this. I see. I appreciate this. I love different opinions. He says, shout outs to Karl Marx. He says, see, I don't think the player movement was as profound as others. I can see the separation better at points, but round their routes versus dropping hips and cutting is just interesting. Yeah, and see, that's what I'm saying. Carl, you make a good point. There's still so much football when it comes to the anatomy and how you run. There's so much of that stuff still left to be done in any game, past or present. That, if we wanted to get into the minutia of it, like, there's so much still left to do. And that's my point, man. It's like, I don't know, guys. Like I said, maybe we've matured, man. I just try to give a realistic feedback approach, because if you're gonna ask me, it's so many more things that, from a football standpoint, that this game could do that no other game ever did. So I be mindful of that. I be mindful of that. It's just I just want Madden to be as good as it could be. As good as it could be. Just try to be as best as you can until that other game come out. Until that other game comes out, and then we over there giving them the feedback saying, see, Madden, y'all don't let this game catch y'all. And that's what it is, man. Like, I wish somebody else could make a real football game. I really do. But this is all we got. And I have a PS5. Meaning, I'm not playing 2K. I can't, man. After playing NBA 2K and shoot, even playing, I forgot to tell y'all that. I have a little fun with Black Ops. Y'all know how I feel about Call of Duty, but I'm enjoying it. After playing that, after playing Assassin's Creed, like I just can't. I can't do it. I can't sit here and play a game on a consistent basis that was produced in 2004. I can't, man. On these glorious TVs and stuff, I just can't. Maybe for a second. Like, Smitty and I have both gone back and be like, man, this was so good in this game. But I'm here to tell y'all, man, 2K8, and shout outs to 2K football now, man. This guy continues to show you. And see, I love the way you give feedback, man. I know you're here listening, because what you do is just show the clips of, like, look at what they did back then. And that's what we all should continue to do. But me personally, I can't just only play that game, man, because it just don't have the replay value for me no more. Is maybe if they would have developed a franchise or something, but it's just, I've even played it on my PC. It's just I can't. I appreciate what they did, but I just can't do it no more, man. Just can't do it. But yeah. Oh yeah, and I can't wait to see what the show gonna look like.
Oh,
I think they got something up their sleeve.
that's
We
gonna
gonna
be nuts.
see. We gonna see.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got, man. I think, like I said, if there's anything else cosmetic that I'm a little disappointed with, is the way they were talking about visuals and all that. I thought it was going to be more presentation. A lot of these intros appear to be what we saw on PS4. There's some sprinkles of new stuff here and there, but I was a little disappointed by that. I thought they were going to deliver a little more presentation other than just the sideline upgrade and all that. But I don't know, man. I think on the field, it's better than previous gen. How good or how bad? TBD. We'll let you know.
Mm-hmm.
We'll let you know. All right, so let me see. I'm about to throw it to Diggs, guys, and I want to see if he runs the way he did on that trailer.
Mm.
Karl Marx says I saw Julio running an out route and he rounded it like a corner route, and because I anticipated him making a sharp cut in the corner, user put different receivers in. What? Oh, I think I bounced around on somebody's comment. Okay, I see what you're saying there. Yeah, no doubt, 2K. And see, and yeah, like my man Neff that's in here too. You guys are great with that. You guys have more fun like creating the rosters and playing them, and that's the thing. See, that's why y'all can enjoy those games way more than I could on a consistent basis because it's not just the game. Y'all like recreating rosters and recreating the NFL, and then displaying the work. Obviously, it keeps you more engaged. Yep. So somebody says, what happened to the new QB movement? I didn't see anything too different. Um, I haven't either, honestly. But again, I just finished my first full game, so I'm gonna try to play a lot of different games against a lot of different quarterbacks and all that. So I really haven't noticed much of a change. Maybe you guys in the chat and Smitty can chime in on this. On prior gen, now we saying prior gen on PS4 and Xbox One. Is Aaron Rodgers quarterback animation in that? Because that was something I noticed playing this earlier today. It looks like Aaron Rodgers, like his motion and how he flicks it. Is that in PS4 version? I don't know. So I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
it is there. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So that ain't nothing different then.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So I don't know, guys. Final assessment so far until next week. It does appear that This is an optimized version, and that's about all I could give right now. Wait a minute. Let me show y'all this. Okay, let me show y'all this one right here. And it doesn't look like Diggs is running the way I saw him running in that trailer. I don't know. But check this out. I think I see something here. Those steps, like the steps with Patrick Peterson and Thielen. I think what may be happening here is they're trying to replicate interaction, kind of a false interaction. Like, look at this. You're gonna see it right here. I'm gonna zoom in. Watch Diggs or watch the corner. Super slow mo. It's like a little bit of contextual awareness happen here. And you're gonna see these kind of things happen in video games because it happens in 2K sometimes, even though they didn't really touch. I guess the animation, the proximity kicked in, so the contextual awareness plays out. But I think that is helping to create separation. This is something to keep an eye on though, because if we start seeing this happen a lot, then that would mean that this is intentional. And see, these are the things that I look for, guys. These are the things I look for, and I say, wait. Are you doing this to create separation, or is this just the way your contextual awareness works? But either way, this is a feedback piece if I continue to see this. Y'all see what I'm saying? Now let's run it in regular speed so you can kind of see it. I'll do a little bit of a bird's eye view here. And see, there it is. You still have that two-man animation that will kick in from time to time. But it seems to play out a lot better and a lot more sensible But I really would love for them to get away from these, man, as they continue on this generation. I just don't like seeing these. I get it. But these are the reasons why sometimes when the game starts to get stale on you is because you're seeing these same animations play out. And that's the problem. And believe me, every football game we've played have had those. Every one. So I'm hoping the more and more advanced these games and consoles get, we'll get a game that can rid those situations. But even like NYK said a little earlier, when the day comes to where everything is completely one to one and people are getting cooked, it's a whole lot of people in this community that ain't gonna be happy about that. But
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Let me see. Anything else y'all got before we wrap up? I want to see. I want you
I'll
guys
be
to
right back.
comment really quick on what we just saw there with Diggs. If you guys could do that really fast. Rodgers has his throwing animations, but in Madden, throwing animations just look a bit off. They lack explosion in the arm and creating that whip action of the speed of the arm throwing the ball. Yeah, I can agree with that. Jeremy says it should have just been an upgrade for the current gen. Really, it looks just like the normal Madden 21. Okay, well, that's literally what it was. It's literally what it is. It's Madden 21 optimized as they call it, next level as they call it. But clearly it's not a complete overhaul. Two-man animations will always be in the game, but as long as they can get rid of them and catch in game, yes. See, there you go. There you go. 2K football now. That's you get it. You know what I'm saying? Even though you hear me and Smitty always talk about getting rid of them, to some degree, I even got to back off of my own critique. Every game has them to some degree. They're just situations where they allow the one to one to play out better, like into NBA 2K. There are situations where they allow the defender and the guy shooting the ball to be separate. But then there's other situations like in the paint. Every now and then you'll get a two-man sequence. But like you said, the key to it, I think the feedback that I need to give, if they can't get rid of two-man animations, they have to find a way to introduce the branching technology to where even if you're in an animation, user input can break you out of it. I think that could be a way to merit, a great marriage between two-man anims and user control. Is that an easy thing to do? I have no idea. I am not an engineer. But I think that's probably the route they're gonna have to go if you can't completely get rid of those. But all right, man. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here, man. I think that's all for tonight. I'm gonna go, get a couple more games in and wind down. But I think we'll go ahead and close it out. Anything else you want to say, Smitty, before we wrap the show up?
Um, I'll say this: I'll be streaming tomorrow. Um, I'll be streaming some tomorrow. I don't have an exact time, but I will be streaming probably like early afternoon or something like that. Either morning, like late morning or early afternoon. You know, I'll stream a little bit and play some more. Listen, you know, it's a game you got to get your hands on and play firsthand to really understand what you're getting. That's it. That's why I'm gonna say once again. I'll say it tomorrow too. I'll say it every time I stream it. To be quite frank, get the game as cheap as you can, okay, and then get the free upgrade. That's it. That's all. That's
That's it.
all there is to it. Don't. Oh man, it ain't okay. Well, if you feel that way, fine. It's not about convincing people, but I, you know, it took me an hour and a half to play a game that would have took more than likely 30 minutes or less to play. Why? Didn't ask from today. Why? Because I was going into instant replay. Oh man, look at this. Oh man, look at that. Look at how this O-line play was. Look at how this defensive play was. Look at this tackle. Look at the separation created. Look at the route running and all that. So it's like, no, there's a lot of legitimate stuff that's in the game, to appreciate at the base level, which the devs did say this is like a ground foundation kind of, stuff that they added. And that's cool. But I want to see them build upon it. And see, the thing for me personally is that it actually gets me enthused to start creating videos now. Because I didn't give a care about the way Madden was going. I was caring so much less about saying anything.
Absolutely.
Now, you heard me in Sim. Man, I'm going to be the Sim of old. If this game don't come out right, I'm going to be the Sim of old. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm about to straight flip a script on them. Like, seriously. And be done with it. And I'm playing 2K. Now, I'm still going to be playing 2K. I'm gonna be playing other games too, but I'm definitely playing Madden. You know what I'm saying? and once again, we already know the franchise mode is cheeks. We know that, and it all that's bad. But there's still, but we're talking about the game in general is good. They build upon that progressively and don't quit. They'll be in a real good spot. That's it. So, like I said, to each its own, man. Enjoy whatever game it is you want to play and have fun with. Go ahead and you enjoy that. All right. So that's it. But yeah, that's all. That's all I gotta say, man. Enjoy it. If you don't, fine. But get that cheap pickup.
Get it for the cheap.
Go
man.
ahead
if you want it. If not,
if you want
it.
Yeah, exactly. If you even want it. So,
but yeah, that's all we got, man.
That's it, man. That's all we got, man.
Somebody said, why the F is there an ad online? Man, you know what? People say this to me sometimes, even in my recorded videos. Only thing I have to say to that is, if y'all still asking that kind of question on YouTube, it's YouTube. YouTube does that. If you have a channel that's monetized, they're going to be ads. I mean, it's on. I mean, the biggest of the biggest channels. I don't know what to tell you. That's how it works. Yes, I monetize my channel. Sorry, but I'm just saying, because people ask me that all the time. Man, what's up with the dog? Every video I watch, even people who got 1 million subs, there's ads. So that's how YouTube works. Like, where y'all been? But I don't know. But yeah, that's all we got, man. Next week we'll give you a better assessment of what the game is or isn't. And that's my only advice to you, man. If if you like it, great. If you don't, you don't. It's not that serious. Find happiness somewhere, man. I think with these consoles, especially that Miles Morales, oh man. And boy, am I happy that you guys on Twitter encourage me to upgrade to the Ultimate Edition. Because let me give y'all a little secret that I didn't know about. I didn't know what the Ultimate Edition was. Didn't know until I got the Standard Edition and asked me if I wanted to upgrade. So I asked Twitter and I said, "What do you get? Most of the time, like sports games, if it's a deluxe or something like that, you get blah 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 blah, all this extra nonsense." But people was like, "Nah, man, you're gonna get a remastered version of the original Spider-Man." See, I never played that on PS4 for whatever reason. So everybody was like, yes, do it. It's $20 more. I upgraded. Now I've been playing both of them. And this is what I'm saying. Yes, you might be a football head and a football nut like me, but if this is not your cup of tea, don't worry about it. Let's not spend our lives worrying about Madden, man, because I promise you, they may not ever get it. So you got to find happiness in gaming somewhere else. I'm having an outstanding time playing my career. Would y'all believe that? Loving it. Loved it so much, I went back to college. I'm in my second season. I didn't even go pro. I wanted to feel that college atmosphere a little longer. So that's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here, man. go spend a little time upstairs with wifey and my son and my baby PS5 here. No live stream tonight, guys. I don't know when I will be live streaming, but yeah, I ain't doing that tonight. You know, I just live streamed for 2 hours. That's the way the missus views that. So I got to give her time. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the show. I hope we did it justice. And again, man, I will continue to say this. It's not that serious, man. You know, for guys to argue back and forth over a game, it's just, you know, maybe they'll get it right, maybe they won't. You know, trust me, there's more important things to worry about. And there's a ton of video games that'll be coming your way that can keep your attention away from Madden. But that's all I got. Have a good night. God bless. Thanks for coming out.